There are moments in life when we believe we know exactly what we want. We crave freedom, independence, control. We think, if I could just leave this place, if I could finally live on my own terms, everything would be better. That's how this story begins. Jesus once told a story about a father and his two sons. The younger son was restless. Home felt too small. The rules felt too tight. The future felt slow. And so one day, he made a bold request, one that cut deeply. He asked his father for his inheritance early. In that culture, this was more than impatience. It was painful. It was like saying, I don't want to wait for you. I don't want your presence. I just want what's mine. And yet, the father said yes. The son gathered everything he had and left home. He stepped into a distant land, filled with possibility and promise. At first, life felt exciting. Freedom tasted sweet. Money opened doors. The world felt wide and welcoming. But seasons change. The money ran out. The friends disappeared. The land that once felt exciting became unfamiliar and harsh. A famine came. And suddenly, the young man who once felt powerful found himself desperate, hungry, alone. He took a job feeding pigs, an unthinkable position for someone who once had everything. And there, surrounded by dirt and hunger, he reached his lowest point. He looked at the food meant for the animals and wished he could eat it. And then something shifted, not around him, but within him. Scripture says he came to himself. Self-realization is often quiet. It doesn't come with applause. It comes when illusions fall away. He remembered home. He remembered his father. He remembered who he used to be. And he thought, even my father's servants live better than this. So he made a decision, one that required courage and humility. He would go home, not demanding anything, not defending himself, just hoping to be accepted as a servant. He rehearsed his words. I have sinned. I am no longer worthy. That walk home must have been heavy. Every step filled with regret. Every mile weighed down by fear. But while the son was still far away, the father saw him. This detail matters. The father wasn't indifferent. He wasn't distant. He was watching. And instead of waiting with crossed arms, the father ran. He ran toward the son who had broken his heart, toward the one who left, toward the one who thought he had lost his place forever. Before the son could finish his apology, the father embraced him. No interrogation, no punishment, no rejection, only compassion. The father clothed him, restored his dignity, and celebrated his return. He did not treat him as a servant, but as a son. This son of mine was lost, and now he is found. This is a story of forgiveness, but also of identity. The son believed his mistakes erased his worth. The father knew his identity had never changed. And this is where the story meets us today. Because many of us carry shame like a second skin. We replay decisions we regret. We label ourselves by our worst moments. We believe we've gone too far, waited too long, broken too much. But the prodigal son reminds us that restoration doesn't begin with perfection. It begins with turning back. And then there's the older brother. He stayed. He obeyed. He followed the rules. But when the celebration began, he stood outside angry and wounded. He couldn't understand grace that seemed unfair. The father went out to him too. Because grace is not just for those who leave it. It's also for those who stay, but struggle with resentment. The father reminded him, you have always been with me. This story is not just about rebellion. It's about relationship. It tells us that no matter where we find ourselves lost, returning, or quietly resentful, there is room for us in the Father's house. To anyone listening who feels hopeless, to anyone who thinks their story is beyond repair, this story offers assurance. You are not beyond grace. You are not forgotten. You are not disqualified. The same Father who ran to the prodigal still runs toward hearts today. Second chances are real. Forgiveness is possible. Restoration is waiting. And no matter how far you've wandered, home is still open.